Hi everyone, my name is Julia Tang and I'm a physical therapist. I'm here today with a lower body strength workout and we're going to finish off with a glute banded set. So for this workout, all you need is a little bit of space. I'd really recommend some weights. You can do it body weight, but if you don't have weights, try and throw some books in a backpack or a tote bag or grab some gallon jugs of water. Just give yourself a little bit of load because that's going to give you more bang for your buck. And you're also going to need a resistance band for the last part of the exercises, or the last part of the workout here. We're just going to do a glute band set. So we're just going to start off with a warm-up here, get the body moving and grooving, and then we'll get into the workout. Our first warm-up exercise here is going to be either a high knee march in place. So you're just going to get the legs moving here. And this is your low impact option if you're upstairs and you don't want to bother your neighbors downstairs, or if you're not doing impact right now. Or you can also do a jog in place. And you can switch it up with like a little bit more of a high knee jog and then a little bit of a butt kicker jog. We're just doing 30 seconds of each exercise here. The goal is to raise the heart rate, get the blood flowing, and prep your body for the workout. Moving into open and close the gait. So you're going to open one hip, close it up, and then do the same on the other side. So we're really trying to move through the full mobility of your hip here. So this is just kind of a beginner hip opener. Then we're going to get to some more hip mobility later in this warm-up. Yeah, really just trying to get moving here. Motion is lotion, so they say. So you want to move through your entire joint range here. We're then going to do a walk down to a plank. So try and keep your knees straight if you can, all the way to a plank. Walk back up, little active hamstring stretch. If you need to bend your knees to walk all the way out, totally fine. Don't worry about it. Just do the best you can, and you should notice that moving through this range, you'll get better and better at it as you do it more often. So we're going to walk down all the way, and we're going to move into the world's greatest stretch. So you bring one foot up, reach under, reach up, kick back, and switch. So put one foot forward, reach through, reach up, kick back into the hamstring, and switch. This is probably one of my favorite stretches, dynamic warm-up stretches. They don't call it the world's greatest stretch for nothing. It is a good one. All right, then we're going to come up and we're going to do a deep squat to a hip hinge. So try and get into as deep of a squat as you can and straighten those legs, get into hip hinge here. And down in this deep squat, you can also kind of pry your knees out, get a little bit of ankle mobility in here, and then come up into the hip hinge, step on the side, deep squat, trying to get those knees forward over those toes for the ankle mobility, and then pushing those hips up into a hip hinge. And our last one is going to be a stepping jack or jumping jack. So the low impact option again, you just step one foot out to the side, wave your arms up and down, or you can do a regular jumping jack. And this is just that last kick to get your heart rate going here before we start into the weighted portion of the workout. So hope you're ready to sweat a little bit today. I'm already sweating a little bit, so that's a good sign. Okay, and bring it down. So our first set of exercises here is going to be a circuit. We're going to do squats, RDLs, which is a straight leg deadlift, and a lateral lunge, alternating legs. So you're going to need a little bit of weight for this. We're going to go 3 rounds through those 3 exercises of 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for 9 cycles total here. Okay, so grab your weights and let's get into the weight portion of this workout. So we're just going to start off with squats here, so go ahead and pick up your weights. I usually like to rack them up with my shoulders, and go. So just going to sit down, find your comfortable squat stance. So for me, it's about feet shoulder width apart, and my toes are turned slightly out. That's fine. You can have your toes straight forward, a little bit out, a little bit more out, whatever is your most comfortable stance. And we're going for hips below knee height here with every repetition for full depth. I like to inhale down, exhale up, and the goal is to keep your shin angle and your torso angle about the same. Take a break here, we get 10-20 seconds off, Check out the legs. You can put your weights down in between if you have to. And then we'll go for those RDLs. RDL is Romanian deadlift. It's a straight leg version of a regular deadlift. So, go and prep, grab those weights. So, lock the back in place, hinge the hips back. Knees are slightly bent, not completely locked out, but mostly straight. It is a straight leg deadlift. Send those hips back. And your range is going to be just as far as you can while still keeping your back in neutral. So if you notice that you get to a certain point and you start to round your back, you're no longer doing a deadlift, you're doing back extensions, which is not necessarily bad, but that's not what we're going for here. So just going to push those hips back like you're closing a car door behind you. All right, take a quick break. Put those weights down. Shake out the hands, and we're going to go for the lateral lunge. So your feet are going to be nice and wide. You're going to sink back into one hip, sink back into the other. You can use one weight right in front, or I'm going to start out with one weight in each hand here. So feet nice and wide, and you can frame your knee with the weights. You want to keep your feet pretty much pointing straight forward. A little bit of toe out is okay, but you don't want to be like completely toe out, because that's kind of a different emphasis, a little bit more quad emphasis, and we're trying to get the glutes here. You will be working your quads, but we also really want to be working the glutes with this exercise. This is really good for developing that lateral power, side to side strength and stability, and getting a little bit of an inner thigh stretch and strengthening as well. Go ahead and take a break from that. We're going to go back to the squats. So, as I was saying before, as you go down, try and sit straight down. You're going to have a shin angle about the same as your torso angle without looking like, you shouldn't be looking like this when you squat. Alright, go ahead and start it up. Sit straight down, like you're trying to sit on a really low chair. If you do have some knee sensitivity or knee injuries, sometimes more of a hip dominant squat can be less stressful on the knee initially. However, if you're not really in any pain from the knees, really try and emphasize sitting straight down, knees going over the feet, forward over the toes, because you really want to be getting that quad work in here. And break. So we're going to be coming back to the RDL. So for the RDL, if at first you're looking like this, before your back starts to round, that's fine. As you continue to repeat this exercise, you should get a little bit more and more flexibility here. Okay, here we go. Sorry about the construction on my street here. It's a little loud, but hopefully you can still hear the beep, and you can just turn up your music and focus on the RDLs here. So push those hips back, keep the spine in neutral. Inhale down, and then exhale up. Keep going. And we're almost to our break here. And break. All right, put those weights back down. I'll show you the lateral lunges from the side this time. So you can either use one weight or two weights. Maybe I'll show you with one weight this time. Just hold it right in front of your chest. But take a nice wide stance, and you're just going to be doing sitting back into one leg for the lateral lunge and into the other leg for the other side. So try and get your knee at least 90 degrees, probably a little bit lower would be ideal. You might be a little bit limited by your inner thigh flexibility, your adductor flexibility, but that's okay. Again, you should get a little bit more flexible and mobile as you do this exercise more and more. So try and keep the chest up, especially if you're holding a weight up here. Don't let yourself sag forward. So really try and keep that chest up, sinking into those hips. Okay, we're gonna go for round 3. So we've got one more set of squats, RDLs, and lateral lunges, and then that'll be it for this portion of the exercise. That's not it for the workout. Don't worry, we got more. All right, so rack those weights up, and we're gonna go for the squats. And start it up. Inhale down, exhale up, nice and steady. Really try and sit straight down in that squat. And if you have something where your knee bothers you, if you go too deep, totally fine, like some meniscus injuries, don't really tolerate deep flexion, so you can always do a partial squat, and that also probably means you can load up the weight even more. So don't be afraid to do a little bit smaller range, especially if you're loading up with more weight. All right, take a quick break from that. I'm gonna go for the RDLs here. So with the RDLs, if you're having a hard time keeping your back flat, if it's really sagging, think about showing the logo on your t-shirt. So try and really bring your chest out a little bit, and that can help firm up the back here. Start it up. Push those hips back as if you're closing a car door behind you with your butt. You've got your hands full of groceries or something, and somebody keeps leaving the dang car door open, so you gotta close it again. Really puff out that chest. Lock those arms, lock those shoulders down next to your ribs. Nice steady rhythm here. Just a little bit longer, you can do it. And break. Okay. We're coming back to the lateral lunge. I'm going to come back to 2 weights here, and as promised, I am sweating. Hopefully you are too. So go ahead and grab those weights, and I'm going to frame my knee with the weights again. And start it up. So really sink down into one hip. Same thing here. Keep that chest up. Try and make sure the logo on your shirt is still at least partially visible. You don't just want to collapse completely forward and let the weights drag you down. So trying to keep the load in the legs here. I really like lateral lunges, just for that side to side strength building here. Lots of athletes need this motion. Cutting side to side, decelerating side to side, pushing off, juking on a defender, all good stuff. Okay, so that's it for our first circuit. We'll take a quick water break here, and then we'll move into Bulgarian split squats. So that one we'll be doing same thing, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. We're going to do 3 on each side. So we'll just do left, right, left, right, left, right. And then for our second kind of split or single leg stance exercise, we're going to do single leg RDLs, also 3 times 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off on each side. So we'll go left, right, left, right, left, right again. So grab a quick drink of water, and then come on back for our single leg exercise here. Also for the Bulgarian split squats, you will need a bench or stool or something to put your foot up on. I'm just going to use this couch ottoman here. You can use a couch, you can use a chair, you can use a lifting bench, whatever you've got handy, but you just want to be able to prop your foot up behind you for the Bulgarian split squat here. Okay, so get that set up, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so for the Bulgarian split squat, I'm just going to hold the weight right in front of me. Starting with my left foot in front, back foot is on the raised bench here, or ottoman, and you're just going to sink straight down. So you want to be at a distance where your front knee can get, or your back knee can almost touch the ground at the bottom. So you don't want to be all the way out here. That's probably too far because you can't get so far down. You also don't want to be so far back that you're really crunched up. So just find a good spot here. And most of the weight should be on your front foot. You're just going to sink down into this Bulgarian split squat here. So this is kind of a lunge variation. And break. Okay, so I'm going to switch sides. So I'm just holding one weight right in front of me. You can also hold 2 weights, one on either side, or you can hold one weight in the hand that's opposite from your front leg. So now we're going to do the right leg, so I'm going to set it up. And start it up. And you can always adjust your foot position a little bit if you feel like you're too close or too far. But most of the weight should be in the front leg here. Keep it going. And your feet should be a little bit apart, hip width apart, like on train tracks, not necessarily on a tightrope. That would make it really hard to balance here. Inhale down, exhale up. Keep it going, nice and steady. Excellent. All right, we're gonna go for 2 more rounds of that on each leg. So I'm gonna show you a variation where I hold one weight in each hand here. So we're coming back to that left foot. So kicking that foot back there and up and down. Adjust the foot as necessary. Inhale down. Exhale up. Trying to keep a nice steady tempo here. And again, as always, try to keep the chest up. Don't let the weights drag you down. They're not so heavy. You can do it. Keep it going. Oh, I'm starting to feel the burn on this leg here. That's good. All right, go and take a break. And if this is really hard, you can always drop the weights and go body weight. That's totally fine. But if you're up for it, try and hold some extra load. What doesn't challenge you won't change you. It's one of my favorite quotes. All right, here we go. And start it up. I like that better than what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger is probably true most of the time, but I think what doesn't challenge you won't change you is kind of a better motto here, especially when we're talking about lifting, because you really want to get a lot of muscle challenge in order to stimulate muscle growth or an increase in strength here. Keep it going. Inhale down, exhale up. All right, go and take a little break. And I'm going to do one more set on each leg before we switch over to those single leg RDLs. I think I'm going to keep these weights here. I like this amount of weight. So we're going back to that left foot. Throw your back foot up and start it up. Inhale down, exhale up. If you're having a really hard time balancing, you can always hold on to a chair or something, or a wall, and just hold on to one weight. So that's when you just hold on to the weight in the opposite hand from your standing leg. But if you can, this is another good way not to work not only your strength, but also single leg stability. And you're getting some active quad lengthening of that back knee too. So extra bonus here. All right, go ahead and shake it out. And we're gonna switch back. We just have one more set on the right leg of Bulgarian split squats. So kick your foot back. And start it up. So really try and sink deep into that knee bend on the front knee here. Again, your knee should be moving forward slightly past your toes. So if you look down at your foot, you should see your knee covering your foot at the bottom of this motion here. Embrace the burn. That's your muscles getting stronger. Well, really it's them breaking down so they'll build back stronger, but pretty much the same idea. Okay, so now we're going to transition to the single leg RDL. So I'm going to scooch my box off to the side here. I'm going to hold one weight in the hand that's opposite my standing leg. So I'm going to start on the left leg So I'm holding the weight in my right hand. So it's basically like the double leg RDL. You want to focus on that hip hinge, but your back leg is going to kick back behind you. So I love this exercise because it works not only on hamstring flexibility here, because if you're not flexible enough, you may only be getting to here before your back starts to bend. So that's okay, just limit the range of motion to what you can do, and you should notice you'll get better and better as you do this more and more. So working on hamstring mobility as well as strength. It's a great exercise for ankle stability because this calf and your leg is really having to work to stabilize here. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. It's also great for the glutes because you got to use this glute on the lifted leg to kick that leg back, and the core because you're trying to keep your body in a straight line from head to heel. So we're switching to the other leg here and start up. Same as always, inhale down, exhale up. So really think about stretching nice and long from the top of your head all the way to the end of that lifted heel. You don't want your leg to be sagging here. So really try and get in a nice straight line and kick this glute on right here to lift that leg. Make sure your hips are level. You don't want to be like opening up the hips to get more depth here. And if you need to, you can always tap your fingers down lightly on a chair or a wall for balance. But if you can, do it without the balance assist. Take a break here. Do it without the balance assist because then you're really going to get that foot and ankle stability. So I'm going back to the left leg. So I'm holding the weight in my right hand, or you can also, I'll show you, you can also hold one weight in each hand. You're just going to hinge at the hips, keeping those hips nice and level, really kicking that back foot out behind you. And you should feel your whole foot and ankle complex really working to keep you nice and stable. And really try and do this without tapping your lifted foot on the ground between reps. Obviously, if you have to avoid falling over, go for it. I'd rather you tap your foot down than end up with your face on the ground. But as you get more and more stable, try and keep that foot lifted. And break. And sometimes it'll be better than others. Sometimes I demonstrate this exercise to patients and it looks fine, and sometimes I'm falling all over the place so that I tell them to do it better than I'm doing it. But today I think is a pretty good day. So we're going to switch over to the other leg for set 2 of 3 and start it up. And oftentimes one leg will be a little bit less stable than the other. Usually it'll be a little harder on if you have an injured side or whichever side you most recently had an injury on. But this should get better with practice. Oops, so you got a little bobble there. So just recover your balance, move on. Don't worry about it too much. Just keep that ankle and leg working. Enjoy the core strengthening here. And the hamstring strengthening, hand lengthening. All right, go ahead and take a break. And we just have one final set on each leg of the single leg RDL. So we're almost there. Almost done with the weighted strength portion here. Not so bad. All right, coming back to this left leg. Think about making your body nice and long. And start it up. Inhale down. Exhale up. And just enjoy this feeling of getting your legs kind of in a split position. I actually really like this exercise for if I'm having some like low back issues too, because it just feels nice to work the legs. I usually do a body weight at first without a ton of load and getting those legs and hips kind of in a split position here. So I love this exercise for many things. So it's a good one to include in your regular workout routine. Single leg RDLs, people, just do them. All right, we're going back for our final set on the right leg here. Set 3 of 3. Get your balance. And start it up. Ooh, see we're having a little bit of a wobble on this side. That's okay. Just clean it up on the next rep. Try and keep the shoulders back without shrugging. Just keep those shoulders nice and set and just let the weights hang from your arms here. Nice and steady. We're almost done with the weighted strength portion. Then we get to grab our band for a little bit of a glute burner. Okay. So put those weights down off to the side. And just scooch these guys out of the way here. And now we're going to grab your band for the glute compound set, or a banded glute set here. If you have a rubber-based band, and it's a little bit, those are usually a little bit lighter than the fabric-based bands, so that can go around ankles. If you find that it's really hard, you can always, the farther down your leg the band goes, the harder it's going to be. So if you start down the ankles and you get halfway through and you're like, I'm going to fall over, bring the band up around your knees. Totally fine, just finish out the set. So we're going to do 4 exercises here. We've got side steps, so if you have a bigger space, you can do all the side steps in a row. I'm going to be breaking it up just in this little space here. We're going to follow that with glute kickbacks. So you're going to kick back at a 45-degree angle. All the weight should be on your front leg. We're going to follow that with a little mini squat, holding this lifted leg back here. And then at the end, we'll do some banded fire hydrant. So all of this is pretty much in like a little mini squat position. So go ahead, let's get started. So you're going to put the band around your ankles. For me, we'll see how long I last. This is a pretty thick band, so good luck to you, Julia. Good luck to me, Julia. And good luck to you out there. So I'm just going to start on one side of my area here, and we're going to start with those side steps. So mini squat, and you're going to step for 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 12 of everything. 5, 6. You can keep going if you can, if you have space. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here we're going to do the glute kickbacks on the outside leg. So you're going to kick back at a 45-degree angle. That's 2, 3, 4. Your head shouldn't move. Nothing should move except for that lifted leg. 8, 9, 10. Try and get that leg all the way straight. 12. And then kick it back and hold. And we're going to go up and down on this leg for 1, 2, 3. Hold this leg straight. 5, 6, 7. Just a light tap on the back foot. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, stay low. Stay in that mini squat. We're going to side step again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'm going to run out of space here. So scooch a little bit. We're going to go kickbacks for 1, 2, 3. Keep the hips level. 4, 5. Chest up. 6. Mini squat here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then kick it back and hold. And go up and down for 1, 2, 3. You should feel the standing leg working a lot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, embrace the burn. Stay down, stay down, stay down. And go again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So make sure your body's not rocking. Hips nice and level. And 12. And kick it back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At an angle. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Embrace the burn. Kick it back and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Straight leg. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, one more set of side steps for 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then kick it back for 1, 2, feel the burn, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all your stabilizing muscles getting stronger. 9, 10, 11, 12. Kick back and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Just lightly tap that back foot. 5, 6, 7. Chest up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woo! Okay, so try and, if you've got the band around your ankles, bring it up around your knees. We're going to do standing fire hydrants. So again, mini squat position. Lift that back leg and you're going to open up like you're a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. And we're going to do 2 by 12 here. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is working on hip rotation strength. 11, 12. Okay, stay in the mini squat. Switch legs for 1, 2, 3. Stretch the band. 4. So don't let your knee come along for the ride. 5, 6. Keep the knees apart. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch back. So on the second set, really avoid your hips turning. So keep this knee solid like a rock for 1, 2, 3. You can do it. 4. We're almost there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Excellent. Last one on this other leg. And 1, 2, 3. You're going to have a butt of steel. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost there. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, just in time. We beat the construction machines firing up again. Go and take off the band. And we're going to finish here with a little cool down stretch. So if you need to grab some water, grab some water. We're just going to go 20 seconds through of each of these cool down stretches here. Okay, so we're starting with a forward bend hamstring stretch. So wide legs, reach forward, get a nice hamstring stretch. And fold your arms side to side, reach over to one foot, reach over to the other foot. And we'll transition from here into a downward dog calf stretch. So come into a downward dog, and you can alternate kind of cycling your legs here. Get a little calf stretch. Just letting the back of that body stretch out. You did a lot of good work today. And move into a pigeon. So you're going to put one foot out in front of you. Try and get your shin parallel to you. If that's too much, you can always pull it in. If you can't, have it perpendicular. And release those glutes that just did so much work with all those band exercises. And we're going to shift forward into a quad stretch. So sit on that heel. Grab the ankle behind you. And then bring yourself upright for a nice quad stretch here. So we're going to stretch out the front of the other leg, and then we'll switch into pigeon on the other side here. And go ahead and switch. Pigeon on the other leg. And if you want to hold any of these stretches longer, you are more than welcome to, or you can do more extra stretching after this video is over. Sink into the hip here. And walk down if you like. Bring the foot in, sit on it, grab your back ankle, and get a nice quad stretch. And you can experiment if you like being lower down for the quad, a little higher up, kind of combined quad and hip flexor here. And breathe. And the last one, you're going to have your knees apart, shins parallel to each other, feet pointing out to the side, and just sink back for a frog adductor stretch. So you can gently rock forward and back here. And just breathe, let those inner thighs release. Alright, and that is it. So walk your feet in, and then slide your knees together. And that was it. You did it. So, lower body strength workout with a banded glute set at the end. Check it off the list and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for working out with me, and I'll see you next time.